Yo, yo, yo! And welcome to this edition of the Base Batches Builders 3 interviews. Today we are joined by Brandon, the founder of Gindor. So without any further ado, Brandon, please introduce yourself, who you are, and what it is that you are building here on Base.
For sure. Thank you for having me, first and foremost. And my name is Brandon. I'm the founder of Gindor. Gindor, in many ways, just summarized, is a CDP-based BTC-backed Bitcoin solution, stablecoin solution. And it's coming onto Base. It's a native solution. So we're targeting CBBTC holders. We're hoping to provide a service where people can collateralize against their CBBTC, mint Gen USD, that's the USD dollar pegged synthetic asset, and just get liquidity and yield from their assets without having to sell in just a much more efficient way than just using general money markets. So that's Gindor in a nutshell, just coming onto Base. It's the first of its kind as well. So it's the first CDP-based categorical product in general. And yeah, we're pretty excited to sort of be bringing it on, I should say.
Now, for viewers, can you just quickly explain what CDP is?
Sure. So CDP is short for collateralized debt position. It's basically a term just to sort of emphasize that you are locking in a asset and you're minting or creating debt from said assets, right? So you are over collateralized, which is a very fancy term of just saying the loan or the debt that you're taking on is worth less, not worthless, worth less than the assets backing it / locking up against it. So / securing. And that's pretty much it.
Now, I know there are some solutions where you can borrow against it. Like for me personally, I'm using Aave to borrow against my ETH. But to do it here on Base, you're saying people can borrow against their CBBTC and then release liquidity from that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so one of the main sort of reasons is people are very used to general money markets, which makes a lot of sense. They're fantastic for just a whole range of assets, right? And we find that you're not getting the best rates or capital efficiency if you're using it for specific assets, especially assets such as BTC or Ethereum. You're better off going arguably with a CDP-based model, just because you can squeeze out that extra capital efficiency. You also have better rates as well, just because you don't have this pooled capital inefficiency. I can go into a bit more detail in regards to that, but one of the really, really cool aspects of a CDP-based model is for that specialization and focus on just a bundle, a very limited bundle, or maybe one sort of collateral type, you just get this maximum capital efficiency when it comes to just how much you can borrow against it, what you're paying in lending rates, and also a very simplified, unified liquidity experience as well. So yeah, we find for CBBTC, which is a huge asset on Base and just outside of Base in general, it's being underserved at the moment. There's not really any sort of specialized lending or borrowing avenues against it. And we're hoping to sort of fix that with Gindor. And we're hoping to just provide a specialized Bitcoin-backed solution for that. And it's also quite nice as well, because it's just a focus on one particular asset. So it's a very nice risk-adjusted return when it comes to the yield basis of that as well, which happy to go into as well. But yeah, that's kind of it in a nutshell there.
Okay, so you said some interesting things about how it's serving this underrepresented community of Bitcoin holders who are holding it on Base, on CBBTC, and looking to borrow against it. You're offering a more efficient solution. Now, I know for the wider Bitcoin community, people don't want to sell the Bitcoin; they want to borrow against it. So this is an elegant solution. However, my question would be regarding safety, because people want to hold on to their Bitcoin as securely as possible. For any new startup or project, like how can you guarantee that their funds are safe?
It's a fantastic question. So first and foremost is just transparency. So our contracts are going to be open sourced. So transparent, you can check the code base yourself. There's no need for a trust factor here, and also audited as well. We're hoping to get at least one audit before going through to mainnet, but hopefully squeezing in two as well. So it's just one of those things where you have to verify, not trust. So smart contracts are open sourced, audited, and verifiable, and that's kind of the basis of this foundation of safety. We're also using very much well-documented design patterns from Liquity and MakerDAO, in the sense of just, not taking their code base, but just sort of looking through and going, okay, this is the best design pattern when it comes to giving out rewards for people staking Gen USD, or perhaps this is the best method of just minting, the minting function being called, etc. So there's quite a bit to learn from there. And I feel like we're in this spot actually, and this is an interesting conversation with DeFi, where we have a lot of AI, or I should say agentic fuel development, and it's finding exploits and all these things in previous code bases from years ago that everyone kind of assumed was safe, right? So it's this like really awkward sort of moment where it's like before the workflow of most of these auditing firms is just heavily relying on just these advanced AI agents to scope through. It's kind of this it's kind of this maybe growth period, if that sort of makes sense, where like everything's transitioning towards just more agentic workflows, and we're still kind of like we're still kind of going through this rough patch, if that sort of made sense. But to answer your question, to sort of summarize through there, just open source code base, very well audited and very well documented, and just using established design patterns, and that's kind of the basis of our foundation of safety there.
Brilliant. I think, if it's open source and transparent, I think that will definitely ease the minds of many. So you mentioned that you're looking to get an audit before going to mainnet. So it kind of leads me to my next question, like, what sort of stage of development are you at, and like, have you been able to get any traction so far?
Yeah, so we are early stage in regards to the community building aspect, but we've actually been developing Gemdor for about 6+ months now. So we have a private testnet, which I will send you the link through after this call, actually. And it's looking quite polished. Obviously, there's a couple of things that we could obviously work on, etc. But, we are at the stage where we do have a product. We're pre-mainnet, of course. But, we are at that point where we're looking at auditing, looking at sort of like launching through. So, yeah, early on the social side, but a bit later on the building/product development side is what I would say. So that's our state.
I think that's actually a good way to go about it, especially if it's like a project that takes a while to get right, because I've seen some projects sort of fall into the trap of announcing too early and building too early, and then it's like it's hard to keep the intensity at like a champagne popping levels for months before the actual launch. So yeah, that makes complete sense. But so you are building the community now. You're several months into the development of it. Do you have a target date for the mainnet launch?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think Q3 or Q4. We've obviously done some estimates here, and just having enough time for just polishing, getting everything ready for pre-auditing, and then the actual audit process as well, which is, let's say, 4 to 6 weeks, right? And then just maybe giving an extra bit of a buffer time as well, just, because there's a bit of a back and forth. Hey, there's a issue here. Can you fix this? Or this is a modification that we'd like, etc. So I think probably Q3 or Q4 is just our estimate at this time, of this year, of course.
And tell us, what was your reasoning? Like, why did you choose to build Gemdor on Base?
Yeah, so I thought, I like Base as a chain. I think Base is doing a lot of fantastic things. That just goes undisputed. I think the distribution angle is quite nice. I mean, you have Coinbase here, and Coinbase is just a juggernaut. I mean, not much needs to be said in that regards. So, and I also think for the product itself, there's a lot of synergies. So I believe, and these are just rough numbers off the top of my head, but I believe if you look at WBTC, it's about 8.5 billion or over 8 billion at the moment, right? And if you look at CBBTC, it went from 0 to over 6 billion. And it's currently, you're comparing WBTC, which is 8 billion plus, and CBBTC, which is 6 billion plus. WBTC has been around for 7 years. CBBTC has been around for 1.5 years. And so basically it's this case of CBBTC has 80% of the TVL, or I should say the market cap, I should say in this case, of WBTC at 20% of the time period. So it's kind of, and a lot of that is also growing on Base as well. So it's a combination of just the chain being just very fundamental and solid. And also I think the product type as well is just very much in line, synergistically speaking. as well as the fact that it's a very much an open market situation. There's no CDP-based protocol solutions, no native ones, I should say, on Base. So we're hoping to fill that gap and deliver that service. So it's all these things sort of coming into one, actually, and it's just it's awesome, and we're excited.
It's exciting times for sure. Now, tell us, so you've submitted for Base Batches 3. What is it you're hoping to get from the experience?
I would say knowledge first and foremost. Like, I think regardless of how good of a product that you've built, if you don't have the user base, if you haven't managed liquidity accordingly, if you don't have these things set up, right? If you're not really pulling the right strings when it comes to launch dates, then you're really impeding the success of your project, right? Or just how quickly you can sort of grow and you can actually get that distribution. Because time is a factor, timing in the market. I mean, the space moves really quite quickly, right? So you have to be really quite in tune. But I would say, just broadly summed up, knowledge more than anything else, because with Base Batches, you're tapping into just a whole cohort of just, people that you can just, hey, here's the person that's really fantastic at distribution. Here's the person that's really fantastic at growth. Here's the person that's really fantastic at BD, and just all these things. So in kind of like in this fashion, I would just say knowledge, and just, we don't know what we don't know, and it'll just be good to get guidance along this pathway from us going from private testnet to mainnet launch and above.
Absolutely, I think that's a great way to look at it. At the end of the day, your network is your net worth, and this is a great opportunity to connect with other builders. I recommend checking out some of the other episodes on this series, because I've been so inspired actually to see like the caliber of like projects that are launching. It's like one thing I really love about like I guess builders on Base is like the focus. It's not really a casino. It doesn't feel like a casino chain. It doesn't feel like just like trying to like get a quick flip onto the next. It's like, okay, here's a problem, here's a solution. I'm building a solution, and it's like that's it. That's how we actually advance the space and make it more worthwhile for people to learn and get involved.
100%. It's a very different subculture. Like each chain has its own culture, from Solana to Ethereum to Algorand. Like it all varies. So it's quite, Base has like a nice mix of just everyone's welcome, is what I've noticed.
Now, my last question: how can people get involved? If people are interested in Jindor, you mentioned that you're launching the mainnet in Q3, Q4, so still a little bit away. How can people get involved, and how can people reach out to you?
For sure. So if you're interested in Jindor, if you're interested in what we're building, I mean, feel free to just follow along on socials. We have a lot of just community interactions and things that we plan for in the future. I should say community incentives. Also, if you're a bit of a heavy DeFi user, heavy advocate, you can reach out to me directly, or just the Jindor account. You can DM either one. We do have this private Jindor group that we're hosting just to get we do have a private Jindor group just to get users, very early heavy users in, just to get feedback for the private testnet as we sort of work our way up to the public testnet and then eventually the mainnet launch. So just following us on socials, keeping an eye out for any sort of community incentives, and applying for that private community position if you're keen to sort of join in and just give very, very early feedback. So there's obviously also perks as well. But yeah, I would say that's definitely it. Jindor is also very clean in the sense of all our socials are just GYNDORE. So, whether it's Twitter, whether it's YouTube, whether it's X, it's just there, or just a Google search, and you'll find us.
Boom. Well, there you have it. So I just followed Jindor, and I look forward to hearing more about it and actually testing it out, the private beta. I apologize for the sound in the background.
No, it's all good.
It sounded like a tornado, but yeah, some gardeners literally just going past there at that point. But Brandon, I want to say a big thank you to you for your time, and thank you for sharing about Jindor. I wish you all the success at Base Batches 3, and I want to say a big thank you to everybody who tuned in today. We'll see you on a future one. So until then, stay safe, stay healthy, but most importantly, stay based.
Stay based.
Peace out, everyone.
I'm a baseline junkie. I'm a baseline junkie. I'm a baseline junkie.